you are of age is what you, I guess, tell your mind you are. And I'm around a lot of young guys. I'm around a 10-year-old daughter who's running through the house all day, every day, screaming. I got an 18-year-old son who's in Tucson. He see him on TikTok dancing with his mom and his sister. And my 20-year-old is right over there, turning 21 in a week. Like, how could I not feel young? And then, I mean, my wife is beautiful. I look good.
He says there's nothing left to fix. No weaknesses, no cracks. Just perfection. At an age when most athletes are bulk ordering ice packs and managing decline, LeBron James insists he's flawless. And that's where things get complicated. Because if everything is perfect, why does the footage tell a completely different story? Here's the uncomfortable question no one wants to ask. Music, are we still witnessing greatness? Or are we watching denial dressed up as confidence? Stay with me, this gets music tense, fast.
Coming from a 41-year-old who should retire is complaining about NBA games still being played on Christmas Day. You can retire. We know how you feel. You done did everything you can. You done did you leaving your legacies, whatever you done created, whatever. People hate you, love you. We know the Lakers ain't gonna win a championship until you leave, and we know it.
It started during what should have been a routine post-game interview, until LeBron delivered a line that immediately hijacked the sports cycle. Not because it was profound or revolutionary, but because of how confidently it dismissed what everyone could plainly see on the court.
Before you take the shot?
No.
Like the consequences of it, the magnitude of it?
Maybe when I was younger, because I cared about what everybody else thought. I don't give a now.
When did that change?
I don't give. It probably changed. Took me to about 25. I spent like 7 years, and then I went to Miami that first year, and everything was about like still what everybody else thought, and then I just literally was just like, I don't give a what nobody thinks.
By saying he has no holes in his game, LeBron essentially challenged the entire basketball world to decide where confidence ends and straight-up delusion begins. At 41 years old, deep into his 23rd NBA season, he delivered a claim so bold it forced fans and analysts alike to reconsider what flawless can even mean in a sport defined by constant adjustment and inevitable decline. Music.
Now, let's talk about LeBron James. I realize the title of this video might sound harsh, but I want to explain without hating. I want to explain why this guy should never, ever belong in the GOAT conversation. And to you hardcore LeBron James fans who already disliked the video because, hey, he's speaking against my hero, which I partly understand. If you take the time to listen, maybe one out of a million.
Now, to be fair, context matters. LeBron has earned real praise this season with the Lakers. He's adjusted, evolved, and found smarter ways to stay efficient, even while playing more off the ball than at any point in his career. He's still attacking the rim, still drawing fouls, and still living at the free throw line. That isn't just athleticism. It's basketball IQ, timing, and a mastery of rhythm that younger players simply can't replicate. Music.
You knew. Hope y'all niggas having a good day. Hop straight into the bed.
You ain't f***ing with no Michael Jordan. LeBron James, on the other hand, running around talking about he's the GOAT, knowing you ain't f***ing with no Michael Jordan. How about doing like everybody else and pay homage to the GOAT? See, you come off less arrogant and an asshole if you would just say, Michael Jordan is a monster, because he was a monster. That was Black Jesus. Yeah.
But adaptability isn't flawlessness. Not even close. Music, and that's exactly where the whole no weaknesses claim collapses. Because flawless means total control, complete mastery, zero weak spots. And nobody in this league, not even LeBron, can say that with a straight face. Let's be honest. His free throws alone end the debate. Throughout his career, LeBron has been solid at the line but never automatic. Music, competent, yes. Consistent? No. The numbers back it up, and so does the tension in the arena every time he steps to the stripe. Even in his prime, those shots weren't guaranteed. And at 41, that weakness hasn't magically disappeared. It's still there, plain as day. Then there's the three-point shooting. Another crack in the flawless image. Sure, LeBron can hit from deep. Sometimes he even catches fire and knocks down a few in a row. But consistency has never been his calling card. Defenders know it. You can see it in how they guard him, sagging off the arc, loading the paint, daring him to shoot. No one gives that kind of space to a player who's truly flawless. And once you factor in defense, things get even messier. The stamina, the rotations, the on-ball pressure. None of it looks perfect anymore. There's effort, absolutely, but not dominance. The body doesn't move the same. The recovery is slower. The instincts are now racing against time itself. So when LeBron says there's nothing left to fix, maybe he's not seeing what the rest of the world watches on replay every night.
Not double. You got a good amount of size on DiVincenzo. And for you to collide into him and fall like that, like you just got ran over by damn Shaq or Dwight Howard or some damn body, is crazy work. Then you understand he probably caught you unexpected and you did fall. But for you to stay down there, holding yourself like you just hurt, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like all.
Earlier versions of LeBron James were defensive monsters. Full lockdown mode. He could guard anyone, switch across positions, read passing lanes like a psychic, and anchor championship-level defenses. That LeBron was real. But that version doesn't show up every night anymore. These days with the Lakers, LeBron's defense comes in bursts, smart, calculated, situational. That's not laziness. It's survival. At 41, carrying that kind of offensive responsibility, you simply can't hunt every possession like you're still 25. And that's exactly why the flawless claim starts to fall apart. Because when you're choosing moments instead of owning them all, that isn't perfection. That's management. The Lakers' entire system proves it. Rotations are shortened. Matchups are carefully selected. Energy is clearly rationed. They're not hiding it, they're protecting it. And here's the music truth. No team builds a protective scheme around a flawless player. You do that for someone who needs to conserve fuel. Those adjustments exist for one reason. Father Time is undefeated. Even LeBron has to play around it. Offensively, the shift is just as obvious. LeBron isn't running the show every possession anymore. The offense now flows primarily through Luka Dončić as the main playmaker and scorer. That's not creative experimentation. That's necessity. If LeBron truly had no holes in his game, there'd be no need to hand over the spotlight. You don't give the keys to someone else unless the tank isn't as full as it used to be. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. It's smart basketball. But you can't sell perfection while operating as a co-pilot. That gap between what's said and what's shown doesn't go unnoticed. Not by teammates, not by coaches, and definitely not by fans. Adaptation means adjustment. Adjustment means limitation. You can't spin that as flawlessness, no matter how legendary the resume is. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm not. I'm really not. Y'all know what it is. Y'all real Laker fans, NBA fans know what it is. And I'm not talking to y'all bronsexuals. We talking about the real NBA fans, real Laker fans. Because we've been tainted with bronsexuals lately. We have what they call the L hive, the Bron hive, whatever you want to call them. No, we're not doing that. We're not going to sit here and let a 41-year-old.
Then there's the issue of availability. LeBron has missed significant stretches this season and even admitted that his off-season prep was slowed by physical setbacks. That's not criticism, it's biology. After 23 seasons and nearly 70,000 career minutes, the body has limits. Durability fades. Science, not slander. Those missed games are proof that perfection can't outrun time forever. What has stayed elite, though, is his mind. Vision, anticipation, the ability to read defenses and make the right play under pressure. That is pure basketball genius. In clutch, music, moments when IQ outweighs raw power, LeBron still owns the floor. Intelligence ages like fine wine. But let's be clear, music, when those smarts are covering for lost explosiveness, that's not proof you music haven't declined. It's proof you've learned to survive decline. Team performance exposes this too. The Lakers shine when the ball moves, assists rise, and everyone contributes. Their success isn't built on one man dominating, it's built on a system flowing. Ironically, music, their smoothest stretches come when Luka Dončić runs the offense, and LeBron slides into a supporting role, facilitating, cutting, striking when needed. Music, defensively, it's the same story. When the team communicates, buys in, and plays smart, the Lakers thrive. But when it's all on LeBron's shoulders, cracks appear fast. Their defense now depends on trust and structure, not speed and recovery like it once did. And that's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. But it proves something simple and powerful. Greatness doesn't mean flawless. Denying limits doesn't make them disappear. It only makes them louder.
Cause when we needed you to be the best, you walked off.
You folded.
When we needed you to be the best, you blamed other people.
Yup, the role players, trading players.
All of that on the same scale.
Yup.
The guy I'm talking about, when his dad died, he delivered. When he had the flu, he delivered. He never gave us an excuse for not delivering. That's why we still wear Jordans instead of LeBrons. That's why we wear.
This is the best debate. This is one of the best debates of all time.
At its core, this debate isn't really about basketball. It's about ego. LeBron James has always carried unshakable self-belief, and honestly, that's part of what made him great. You don't dominate for 2 decades without a little arrogance in your DNA. But when confidence starts blocking honest self-checks, music, it stops helping and starts hurting. Greatness doesn't vanish when you admit decline. It grows when you face it with maturity and pride. Fans can feel authenticity. They respect transparency more than perfection. When legends like LeBron admit they've had to adjust music, fans don't mock them, they salute them. There's power in honesty. But when you stand in front of cameras claiming you have no flaws, the spotlight gets hotter. Suddenly, every missed shot, every slow rotation, every defensive lapse becomes a gotcha moment. One quote turns into a measuring stick that overshadows everything else you're still doing right. Make no mistake, LeBron is still helping the Lakers win. But that no weaknesses talk shifts the focus from brilliance to slip-ups. Every missed free throw becomes a headline. Every off-shooting night becomes proof he isn't flawless. The media eats it up, because perfection sells and tearing it apart sells even faster. Longevity in sports has always been about compromise. The body wears down no matter how strict the diet or advanced the recovery tech. Even for LeBron, it's about managing that wear and finding new ways to win when old tricks, music, stop working. That's not weakness. That's survival. That's the line between washed-up players and timeless ones. That here's the irony. LeBron's greatest flex right now isn't being flawless. It's being resilient. He's still impacting games even when the legs don't have the same bounce. He's thinking 2 steps ahead of defenses. Still turning broken plays into highlight assists. Still leading by sheer will. That's intelligence. That's adaptability. That's greatness that doesn't need perfection to shine.
About, man, LeBron James IQ is overrated?
It's definitely disappointing, but nothing has lost. We haven't lost nothing yet, and we just gotta still believe.
The question, I was just looking for somebody to get open. We still had 2 seconds to get the ball across half court, but everybody kind of went into the front court. If I could take it back, in a timeout, maybe just have one guy break open to the backcourt. We still had time.
As the postseason creeps closer, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Playoff basketball doesn't care about narratives. It exposes everything. Weaknesses get hunted. Strengths get tested, relentlessly. Teams that win aren't the ones pretending to be perfect. They're the ones who know exactly who they are right now. The Lakers can't lean on who LeBron was. They have to build around who he is. That means clarity of roles, honest communication, and a whole lot of trust. Leadership at this stage isn't about being the loudest voice. It's about sacrifice and precision. At 41, chasing another ring, LeBron doesn't need to prove he's flawless. He just needs to prove he can still deliver when it counts. That kind of leadership, grounded in reality, builds the chemistry that wins tight games. Let's be clear. This doesn't erase his legacy. Nobody's touching that. 4 rings. Endless records. 2 decades of dominance already cemented. But it does sharpen the view of his present reality. The free throw inconsistencies. The streaky perimeter shooting. The selective defense. The music, conditioning struggles. All real. None erase greatness. But they make it clear. Flawless left the chat a long time ago. Even so, LeBron's value is undeniable. His IQ still drives the Lakers' offense. His playmaking still elevates everyone around him. His presence still commands respect from every defense in the league. None of that needs exaggeration or fantasy claims. It speaks for itself. The real story now isn't pretending he's perfect. It's celebrating how he keeps evolving, finding new ways to stay relevant in a music game that never stops changing. Honesty, that's leadership now. And when leadership aligns with truth, teams thrive. As the pressure mounts and the playoff lights get brighter, that alignment becomes everything. The postseason doesn't lie. It strips away fake narratives, exposes reality, and forces everyone to confront the truth head-on. For LeBron James, that moment is coming fast, a test of whether the legend can keep evolving when the truth is louder than the myth.
Even if you were looked at as the GOAT, we're taking that GOAT status down because you got there the wrong way.
LeBron or LeGoat, that was a legitimate question. He hit another milestone. He reached a total of 50,000 points in the regular season and playoffs.
50,000?
50,000 points.
That's a lot of points. I must admit, as a Jordan fan, that is a lot of points.
And now he just added to the list.
He's added to the list.
Yeah, this is in the Lakers 136-115 win versus the Pelicans.
For LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, success isn't about whether LeBron believes he's flawless. It's about whether the team thrives within the version of him that exists right now. And let's be real, that version still has magic, just a different kind. Today, LeBron may not dominate every possession with speed or brute power, but he still controls games with his mind. He can slow the tempo, read defenses like a chess grandmaster, and shift an entire defense with just a glance. His command of spacing, timing, and rhythm keeps the Lakers' offense alive when the game threatens to stall. That's not luck. That's mastery earned over 2 decades in the league. But here's the key. Those strengths shine brightest when they're part of the system, not when they're treated like proof he's still an unstoppable solo act. The Lakers' coaching staff knows this better than anyone. You can see it in the playbook. No wasted movement, music, no unnecessary grind. Offensive sets protect his legs. Music, defensive matchups are calculated. Minutes are carefully managed with the long game in mind. That's the truth. These aren't luxuries you give a flawless player. They're smart adjustments for a legend who's still great but human. Pretending otherwise doesn't fool anyone. It just creates awkward tension between what's being said and what's actually happening on the floor. That tension is loudest in the clutch. When the game slows and every possession matters, the Lakers' thrive most when LeBron plays the stabilizer, not the savior. When he trusts the offense, moves the ball, and lets others cook, the game opens up beautifully. Shots fall. Spacing clicks. The team breathes easier. That's not a downgrade. That's evolved leadership.
I'm predicting at the end of this season, LeBron James is going to retire. His contract is up. He's 41. I don't think it gets better from here. I think this is the last season of LeBron James. What else does he do? Does he go back to the Lakers to play with, like, Luka? Does he go to Cleveland? Does he go to the Warriors to lose again? Like, I don't understand what else happens besides him retiring.
Not having a farewell tour is so unlike.
And let's talk about Luka Dončić, because his presence changes everything. Luka has clearly taken over as the engine, primary scorer, playmaker, and momentum driver. Music, that's not disrespect toward LeBron. That's strategy. It's how you keep both stars effective and fresh. Acknowledging that dynamic openly doesn't weaken the partnership. It strengthens it. Defined roles remove confusion, build trust, and make the game flow smoother. History proves it. Legends who lasted, Kareem, Duncan, even late career Jordan, extended their greatness by adjusting, not resisting. They leaned on intelligence over ego. Those who refused to adapt, they faded fast or became distractions. Talent wasn't the issue. Mindset was. Acceptance gave their teams balance. For LeBron, denial makes things messy. The challenge isn't proving he can still perform. His numbers already do that. The challenge is redefining excellence at this stage. It's no longer about dunking through double teams or playing 40 minutes a night. Music, it's about picking your spots, controlling tempo, and keeping emotions in check when chaos hits. Selective aggression. Smart positioning. Calm under pressure. That's the new version of dominance.
And welcome back to another vid. Comedians completely eviscerate LeBron James. Damn. The comedians coming at LeBron neck? Golly, everybody coming at LeBron neck for some reason. I don't know why, but listen, man. When the comedians get on your head, man, you gotta watch out.
And defensively, the adjustment is even clearer. The Lakers aren't counting on LeBron to erase every mistake with athletic heroics anymore. Those chase-down blocks and lightning-fast rotations? They belong in history, not the nightly game plan. Now, defense depends on communication and coordination. Everyone moving as one. And when LeBron's voice leads that communication, when he positions himself perfectly and directs traffic, the Lakers' defense tightens instantly. Music, but when expectations drift toward prime LeBron, the guy who covered the floor like a one-man army, the cracks start showing. Music, that's why honesty matters. Offensively, the same principle applies. The Lakers play their best late in games when roles are clear. Music, Luka Dončić breaking down defenses. LeBron reading and reacting. Teammates spacing the floor and cutting at the right time. That's basketball built on realism, not nostalgia. Music, it honors what's still elite without pretending what's faded is still there. That's how the Lakers can win. Not through the illusion of flawlessness, but through the truth of evolution. Because when greatness embraces change, it doesn't shrink, it lasts. The real danger in chasing flawlessness is how it twists accountability. When you call yourself perfect, every mistake feels like betrayal, not just to others but to yourself. Criticism stops sounding helpful and starts feeling like an attack. Music, that mindset doesn't just affect one player. It ripples through the entire locker room. Music, younger players start walking on eggshells, afraid to speak up or make a mistake. Leadership built on honesty builds trust. Leadership built on absolutes builds walls. Music, that's the difference between connection and isolation. Fans and analysts notice it too. They're far more forgiving of missed shots or defensive lapses when struggles are framed around growth and longevity. Say you're adapting and people respect the grind. Say you're flawless and every off night becomes a headline. Every air ball becomes proof of decline. Every slow rotation sparks debate. Every stat line gets measured against your own mythology. Suddenly, the story stops being about how you're helping your team and starts being about how you're not living up to your own words. That's not legacy. That's noise.
Starting the season on the sideline with some back issues, but understanding that the game is moving on and in his best days, we've all watched him.
I don't really know because I think every player is different from whatever role you play. It's just you deciding what you want next. Like how much you're going to carve out for yourself next. Because if winning is truly the goal, then you have to humble yourself and realize like maybe you're not going to play this role winning. And to me,
and speaking of legacy, this part matters most. Greatness isn't only about trophies or numbers. It's about how you handle the final chapters. How you age in the game says as much as how you dominated it. Acceptance, mentorship, adaptability, those are what stick with fans long after the box scores fade. Resistance and denial? They just make legends look bitter instead of timeless. LeBron's legacy is already locked in. No one's questioning it. The rings, the records, the impact, it's all there. But right now, his next move isn't about adding another line to the resume. It's about controlling how this chapter is remembered. The Lakers have to walk a tightrope, honoring his greatness while building a future that runs on the present. And in that balance, honesty is power. Being real about what works and what doesn't keeps everyone locked in and moving forward. Because let's be honest, none of this diminishes LeBron's greatness. If anything, it reveals a whole new version of it. This isn't dominance by force anymore. It's dominance by wisdom. It's endurance, awareness, and making plays that still matter long after most players have retired. The league doesn't reward talk, it rewards execution. Music, it rewards teamwork, adaptability, and results. Games are won possession by possession, not by statements at press conferences. If LeBron and the Lakers can keep that mindset, if leadership stays grounded in reality, if roles stay defined, and if everyone buys into the system, they'll stay dangerous. No illusions. No ego trips. Just smart basketball. That's how teams last. In that world, LeBron's imperfections don't make him less valuable. They make him relatable. They show he's not just surviving time, he's mastering it. And that's the story that really matters. Not some fantasy about being flawless at 41, but the truth about staying relevant, effective, and powerful through evolution. That story doesn't need hype. It's already written on the court every night. So if you believe in that version of greatness, that real greatness is built on growth, not denial, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, share this with someone still chasing perfection, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the game. I'll catch you on the next one.